Yeah, welcome to this live session. Let us make sure if the voice is clear, if the video is clear too, so that I'll be beginning this live session. Let us make sure that we give this live session a like, as always. Today being a Sunday, as always, all the Sundays we are going to be having live stream. That is the way things are working on my side. So today's live stream, we can see from the title, it just hosts Q&A. But basically, I'm flexible enough to discuss everything pertaining, I'm flexible enough. We are going to discuss everything as long as it is a question that has been asked with my subscribers. I'm going to respond to those questions vigilantly. That is what I'm going to do. So let us keep on engaging. Even I'm waiting for the first person to text so that we can start off this live stream for today. Let us give this live stream a thumbs up. This Bahama Mamas, hi Max, Jambo. Jambo sana, Bahama Mamas, welcome to this live stream. I can see Asumana, welcome to this live stream, brother. Asumana has a YouTube channel. Let us support Asumana. I can see Veg King, thumbs up done. Thank you. Let us give this live session a thumbs up. And we're going to discuss something about horses. Yeah, this is Dorothy. Hi Mike, I'm Maxwell, yeah? Not Mike, I'm Maxwell Lumumba, Africa. That is the YouTube channel name. Let us give this video a thumbs up, yeah? Happy Sunday, Maxwell. You're a great content creator and educational and more informative. Thank you. Basically, even though if they call me a reactor, but most of these reaction videos that I do are basically training, yeah? Let us not take them personal. Basically, I do reaction videos, but for those who watch my videos in detail, it is more of educational videos more than even reaction videos. That is why I usually call it analysis video. I can see Veg kicking. How can he get rid of the bodies? I'm going to answer that because first thing he has to get is just bury it some feet down. That is one of the things that is supposed to be done. Another thing that has to be done is about burning, yeah? You have to put it under fire. For those who understand what type of burning, yeah, we have some degrees that you're supposed to burn it. I'm going to explain about that. I can see Asumana, smash the like button, guys. Yes, exactly. Let us give this live session a thumbs up. Let us keep on engaging, yeah? Okay, I'm curious about the procedure of rotting. Yeah, procedure of rotting is it is something, in a scientific name, it is something like rigor mortis, yeah? Somebody can Google something like rigor mortis, then you tell us what rigor mortis happens. I tend to believe this is now the process of something like muscles, actually the rotting process, yeah, the rigor mortis, something of sort, yeah? But we can confirm if that is the scientific name of the process of rotting. I'm not that much sure, but if that is it, I'm going to talk about the rotting process, yeah? Evening Max, bright future ahead. This is from Ken Gitari. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So when it comes to, because everything, the rotting process starts from it is all about bacterial multiplication, yeah? Multiplication of bacteria, that is what initiates the rotting process. I recall animals bursting in the heat of the day in the Caribbean. That is what happens, yeah? Once the bacteria multiply, you get that you understand the things about intestine and everything. There is no penetration of the air to the body. So that is why you get that the stomach bulges, it becomes a balloon shape, yeah? That is what happens, because you understand when the rotting process happens, there is a lot of I don't want to call it pressure, let me just put it pressure. Yeah, there is a lot of pressure because you get that some of the internal organs tend to release a lot of gas, so you get that a lot of fermentation takes place inside, yeah, the stomach. So you get that it becomes very swollen, and the reason why it is bursting, it is because the tissues start rotting. So you get that they become very easy. You get that some people even stab the stomach so that to get out that air. But rotting process, rotting is a process by itself, and it's being initiated by bacteria. Let us give a thumbs up to this video, because basically my live stream, I usually say that there are question and answers. Anything you like to know, I'm ready to give into more detail. Smash the like button before you comment. Exactly, let us give our video a thumbs up. I can see already we have 19 people in this live session. Let us keep on engaging, because I know a lot of people will be joining, because it is when now we have started, and we are going to speak everything into more detail. None of the villagers appears to deal with this situation. This situation is kind of complicated. We understand what is happening. Hey Max, long time no see. Exactly, I'm here. See me, I'm here. This is Tabby Cat. Welcome to this live stream for today. Today is a Sunday. Date today is 22nd February. Maybe this is our last live stream in this month. Our last live stream, yeah. Let us keep on actually engaging. I can say Fakere, I can say Max. Yes, I'm here today. Let us keep on engaging at this hello. Yeah. So let us start our session for today, because I see the platform is full, and the question that I'm going to deal with, because a lot of people were asking about what killed the horse, and I'm going to speak about it vigilantly. Yeah, vigilantly. I can see Fikerel saying that horse Q&A. Exactly, because that is one of the trending things that is happening in Nyabuhansi village. So we have to deal. I have to deal with it. I have to respond to all the questions that people will be asking. We know the history about the horse. The horse got injury. Hi Highland. Okay, the horse got injury. That is actually everything happened in that way. Okay, because a lot of information. Initially, we were being told that the horse got an accident where some people were saying the horse fell down. I don't know. It was running. Maybe there's a possibility of getting an injury. Some claims now are coming that it was knocked by a motorcycle, overspeeding motorcycle, and overspeeding horse. So they met, and that is the last actually what was discussed in the last video, where Marwa himself was making that video. There some other details came on, and from that accident, Rocio herself came and said that the accident, the casualties were very severe. Actually, it was like accident that was a very dangerous accident, where the rider himself was injured to some extent. The only thing that prevented him from advanced or serious injuries, or something like a head fracture, is because he had protective gear, and by that case he had an helmet in his head. And for the horse, now new information that is coming up is that the horse, after the accident, it rolled several times. Blessing to everyone. This from Asumana. Let us support Asumana YouTube channel. He's a YouTuber, content creator. Yeah, a YouTuber and a content creator. So that is now the history that is coming up. And yesterday I did a video where I brought to camera what happened after the accident. For those who are watching Marwa for maybe for a couple of time, and what I'm going to say is what happened. Let me see. I recall the government would sprinkle lime on the dead animals on the roadside. Just curious. The reason why they have to sprinkle this lime, yeah, is just disinfecting the place, because we have some zoonotic diseases and contagious diseases. The zoonotic diseases are the diseases that can be transferred from animal to human. Contagious diseases are the diseases that can be transferred from one animal to another, or from human to human. So we have some diseases like anthrax. You get that anthrax is a zoonotic disease. So you get that when an animal dies from anthrax, possibility of human being infected with the spores from the anthracis itself, you get that it is very high here. So for actually to disinfect that carcass, you have to pour some lime. That is one of the diseases, because it prevents that bacterial multiplication. Even it prevents, maybe it actually unalive some of the bacteria to some extent. That is why you get that people or the government does that, and you get that some of the bacteria are very susceptible, yeah, to some of the actually the pH levels, because we understand lime is basically a base. So you get that bacteria, most of these bacteria are very much, actually they become very fragile when you expose them to some extent of these actually these let's say the base environment. You get that you control their multiplication to some extent. Hello Max and other in the chat. This from Granco. Welcome to this live stream. Okay, MS opportunistic. My question is about Machete Man and his family. How did get to what they are in the village? Yeah? The reason I think this family, it is somehow traumatized. When you look about the history from the beginning, when this family came to Nyabuhanse, it is kind of like they have something like traumatization, yeah, to some extent. Even I usually regret why even I'm reacting to that family, because they are really passing through a lot, yeah. Even the kids, those kids, the way you see them, yeah, it is some okay. I never wanted to say that they lack something, but it seems that these people are very much traumatized. There is about their past life, you know, life changes. The same people that we see bragging in the village as per now, some years back, they were something else. Actually, they were somehow different. So you get that what they passed through when they were young, it is what they're now bringing up. They still have that traumatization in them, yeah? Some humans burst in their coffin to the gases and bacteria. Exactly, that is what actually I was explaining, where the process starts from the rigor mortis. It goes all the way that about bacterial multiplication. You get that even bacteria themselves release the gases, yeah. Remember, that is something like fermentation. So you get that when everything is decaying, it produces gas, and this gas actually, because there is nowhere it can penetrate, because you get that even the, let's say some fluids are in the stomach, so you get that it covers even the pathways, because we are now left with the backside, that is the anus. Then we are left with maybe the mouth, yeah. But you get that something like mouth, especially for the animal, you get that like, let's say the cattle, yeah, there is no that vomiting, and some animals don't even vomit. Even leaving that aside, all the physiological process of animals are being blocked. So you get that there is nowhere these fumes or gases after multiplication of bacteria will be passing through. Yeah, Vicoril, welcome to this live stream. Vicoril too, she's a content creator. We can go over to her channel and subscribe. Yeah, we watch the videos that are there. You can see health and safety. Exactly. That is why they sprinkle the lime to the carcass. Yeah. Goodness, that is okay. Yeah, that is why they sprinkle. There is a site called the Body Farm in Texas. You can see dead people and all stages of death, from the size of the flies, etc. Wow. Yeah, because the way I was saying that rotting is a process by itself. Yeah, where we get a lot of things are happening. Let us give this life a thumbs up. Let us give it a thumbs up. Let us keep on engaging. Yeah, I'll be responding to all questions that will be asked. I won't be jumping any question. If you have a burning question, yeah, you can ask, because I get to understand even some people were asking me that why did you pull down yesterday's video. I'll be answering that if in case it will be asked, because I got some people were texting me about that. I'll be saying it, yeah, why I decided to pull it down. Yeah, because it had good views, but because of some issues, yeah, because we get to understand that in this field, everybody mind their own business, yeah, mind their own business. But when things get hot, because we have to survive, at the end of the day we have to survive. But there is nothing that was there is nothing in that video that was a lie. Everything that I posted in that video was the truth, but because of some things I had to pull it down, yeah, for the safety of some individuals, because that was something like I much discussed about veterinary ethics, and that was the reason why I had to pull it down, because it was going contrary to some of the individuals, and because it was like I'm going to make some individuals work very difficult. Yeah, there don't appear to be a system in that area of burning large volume waste. Here in the village, exactly, there is no, even for these horses that died, I don't think if that will be happening. We don't have system, because actually we have system, but for those systems they have to transport the carcass to maybe Kericho, because we have a veterinary lab in Kericho. That is why, remind me of that name, that the burning process, yeah, the burning process of maybe bodies. It is called where you put the body under high temperatures, yeah, and it comes back as ashes. Remind me of that name, yeah, the process, yeah, the process of burning bodies, yeah, because I saw that in Kericho, in Eldoret. Yeah, cremation, exactly, you're right, this from 13. Yeah, so here maybe within Migori County we have none. Up to maybe Kericho they have where you can do cremation. Some people, even the same lab has a place where you can actually bury that body to some feet. For those who understand, the really understanding on the menu, welcome to this live stream. So I'm just responding, yeah, to all the questions that will be asked here. That is how I do my live stream. So anything that people are bringing on board, I'm going to respond. Eva Miller, okay. The horse developed sepsis and dies from medical attention at onset of the injury. No one to blame, but Marwa, he should be locked up for animal cruelty. I did a video yesterday where I said that horse died because of negligence, and I can justify that. Know that I don't know what I'm speaking about. For those who want to come to this live stream and crucify me, you're welcomed. When I say it died because of negligence and how you behaved to some vets initially, speaks a lot. And I gave my own opinion. Why? The first thing is because veterinary care was delayed. That is one of the things. Okay, sometimes you have to give flowers where flowers deserve. Marwa himself tried as much as he can to rescue the animal at all means. But now look at how everything was done. And I started my videos from the day when the horse got an injury because I even came to the camera. If there is one of the individuals who was called to attend to that horse, it was me. I have proof. If you want, I can show even it on the camera. I have proof. I was called. Even after being called, when I said no, then I propose I can even give out maybe I can refer somebody. I even texted, and I have to say the text was responded to. So everything that I say, that's a matter of fact. It's only that I wasn't around, yeah. The millions-dollar homes don't burn. Exactly. Okay. Okay. That's okay. Okay. This one I'm talking about that. Yeah. What does Marwa do with the dead horses? Hmm? Okay. The past horse, we saw that the likes of Uncle Mo, they had the tail of the horse. So I'll be answering to that. I've seen some people saying that it is alleged that maybe they go and throw through the river. Some people say that they go bury next to the rivers. So I'm going to answer those questions because those are just allegations. And we're going to clear about all those allegations. I can see Dr. Tando. Is it true that they cut off the tail of the dead horse and kept them as trophies? Yeah, some people do that. And that tail was seen. Uncle Mo was seen with that tail. I don't know, he wanted to make a whiskey, or some people are saying that it was now a horse tail. Not even it was not even an ox tail, it was now a horse tail. Yeah. Okay. Eva, what about getting rid of the body? Okay. Yesterday information was good, but I think please do not mention the names of the practitioners. This is from Robbie 950. Exactly, that is what I'm really avoiding. I've just mentioned my name. I was called, but I couldn't attend. For those people who understand why I can't go to that compound, you people understand. Even if, okay, I'm one of the individuals who love animals very much. But when it reaches in a capacity that, let's say that I'm called to that homestead, I can't really go because when I received the call, I thought that maybe this is just a setup because maybe I reacted on him, just a setup. It was nothing because that is an information that he got as first hand. But in case the next day he could call me, I could go and rescue the animal. No video, nothing at all could happen because I could tell him no, this is not the right way because I'm not your enemy, but how will your subscriber take me to be? Because I've seen a lot of allegations where some people say that I was even attending to those horses. I myself, let me come clearly, I've never attended to any horse, any Marwa's horse. I've never attended to it. So all those things, all those allegations are false allegations. I, Maxwell Lumumba, I've never attended to any of Marwa's horse. And I'm not going to attend to any of them. Let me just put it clear. Because of my personal reasons. Reason number one is this. Some of the vets who are attending to those horses, they pull down. They said enough is enough. They just being, okay, you've gone to attend the horses. Then you get that content is being done from what you are doing. This is something like a delicate profession. Everything should be like out of camera. That is what it should be. Everything should be out of camera. when you're operating with drugs, we are not supposed to show drugs that you carry the drug this way. Now you want to show that now this is how I'm going to aspirate the drug, or I'm going to inject. That is against. We are not supposed to show farmers or the platform that this is how we are supposed to educate or what. That is why even I did that video. I was tending to actually I was tending to talk bad when it comes to training of drugs, veterinary drugs, yeah, because that is against veterinary ethics, and that can bring a lot of problems when the video reaches that docket of veterinary. It will bring a lot of problems, because if I was to advise Marwa, I could tell Marwa that you're supposed to pull down the video that you are being educated about the drugs. That is what I can really tell, because that is ruining somebody's career. Even for me, I saw that it was like ruining somebody's career. You know, we are still young. We need to practice. We need to grow. So that is why, not that, okay, not any other information. Okay. Let me see. Okay, Tando, are you still okay? Dr. Tando, I wonder that because I see a Komo with a horse tail. He had it on his head, and that was after Mr. died. Okay, Amatista. Okay, that is what happened. I don't think if Rio's tail was seen anywhere. I presume cut up and bury. Yeah, sometimes you can cut some pieces and bury, but you have to be conscious. Yeah, the way I was talking about zoonotic disease, you have to be conscious enough, because we have some zoonotic, because we don't know what killed the horse. And I came on camera and say that the only diagnosis can be done, the tentative diagnosis of the confirmatory diagnosis, the results come from the lab. Leave alone what we do in our villages, that these marks, I've just gone there, I've done some post-mortem, I bring some, I say what I find, my findings, I come out with my findings, then I say because maybe I know some of the diseases, yeah? You must know what we call the not lesions. You have to know the findings, yeah? Let's say what you see, the pathological things that you see. You see maybe there are some petechiations, you suspect this is this. You see maybe the body, it has some loose muscles. You say that these, I suspect these, yeah? Those are just something that we speculate about. But the right confirmatory diagnosis comes from the lab, because they have all the instrument that can use. If it is taking serum, it is taking blood, whole blood, if it's taking body tissues, so that they can culture in the lab, they can do some, they can initiate some growth and come up with something like tentative diagnosis that is basically being done in lab level. But in field level, we just spectate, yeah? Because when you ask me, that is why even I came on camera and say that the reason why, okay, from this horse, we know it started like an injury. And I'm going to describe how this process, it started from day one until the last day, yeah? Yeah, don't tarnish your channel and name. Exactly. That is something that I'm not going to do. Keep away from something. Exactly. That is what I'm going to do. No stepping there, nothing. Okay, this is Ernesto. Welcome to this live stream, Ernesto. Welcome to this live stream. Ernesto is a YouTuber like me. Let us support Ernesto's channel. I can see new Imlogio. Hey Maxwell, hey all the chat listening in the background. Thank you, Grant. Okay. Yes, not everything should be done on camera. Marwa don't understand that. Exactly. Especially when we are dealing with professional thing. Let us not bring professionality to camera. Everything you want to film and show the videos, I have to give him flowers still when it comes when this horse was being treated. He never showed us the update. Yeah, he was just talking about the update. That I have to congratulate him. Yeah, because he never showed us that this the person was attending to the horse, this it took time. Yeah, and many a times he did that off camera where he went ahead and showed us the horse. So for that, I have to congratulate him for that. Yes, not okay, that one. Or the part that says didn't eat, please ignore those two words. Exactly, okay. Listening quietly after the ads. Thank you, Junior. Welcome to this live stream. Karmarwa, be advised to keep daily basic health record for the horses for reference. Cheap is expensive. Exactly. I came on camera and say that you never give somebody referral. Even for me, I won't attend to any animal without a history. Yeah? I have to see an history. Everything noted down that this animal was being attended. This is all okay because we have this was the science of this animal, the animal name, science, maybe diagnosis. I have to see where the diagnosis is. What is the differential diagnosis about the horse? What is the medication that it is being actually it is being which under which medication was this animal under? I have to know it very well. So when somebody else goes there, maybe you get a referral, you have to follow the history. Initially, this animal was suffering from this disease. Then we go deep and see this what was diagnosed. Yeah, this is what this is how the symptoms were. Because sometimes you get that let's say for that injury, sometimes you get that temperatures are high. So when maybe they gave the painkillers and everything, you get that the temperatures now became low, or the temperatures were low after maybe what is happening. Yeah, this it is a process because to the death it is a process. So you have to make sure that you follow everything procedurally. So that is why I usually recommend have proper records. It will be healthy for the future person. When you call any other individual, you'll know that this is what the records talk about. How will the water tables not be affected deep the ground? It will still be affected because when everything goes down, yeah, we still have the water table there. We have we call them what? Where we have, that is why even water we get it from the ground, yeah. So the ground level we'll still get the same animal that was buried there. We can still get those challenges, even those infection and everything. So it is not safe to some extent, yeah. The right way is to do cremation. That is the best way. And even burying, yeah, we have some feet that it should go down, yeah, going down to some feet, yeah, for those who understand about the fitting and everything. Because the last time I saw this animal being buried, it was deep, yeah, it was very deep. Vico, they were buried. What other reasons do you want? Exactly. This is a Missy Bernard. Okay, welcome to this live stream, Missy Bernard. Welcome to this live stream. Yvette, my cousin had a horse and it died. And all age, okay, my uncle got and buried the horse deep enough to meet the council standard. Exactly. This is what actually there is some feet, yeah. Human being, they have their own feet. Animals too. There is some measurement that you can bury these animals, yeah. Yes, a big hole. Okay, they also own acres of land. Most people here who own horses have huge amount of land, acres, and many acres. Exactly. Do you run a horse so fast when it is pregnant? This from Kathy Jones. Let me answer Kathy Jones. Horses are animals. Their nature is meant to run, irrespective how fast they run. You will never tell me that, let's say, an eagle, you'll ask, okay, you will restrict an eagle that how much will you fly? We have Okay, horses, their nature is to run. So when you tell me that you're making a horse, look at the question that you're supposed to ask me. What is the terrain or the environment that this horse has been forced to run very fast? Ask me those questions. But when you tell me that running a horse very fast, we have some limits. There is a limit that a horse cannot run past. Yeah, we have let me just say speed limit even for horse. Yeah, you will never expect a horse to run at 50 kilometer per hour. You never expect that. So we have that speed limit. So the nature of horses is to run as fast as possible. So ask about the environment. That one I'll respond to you. But when you ask me about these, I think, okay, the profession should adhere to professional ethics. Should not be pressured by Kenge without for views. Exactly. The way I said about that video, everything was happening for a reason. The quoting of prices and shouting the prices, never, that one was not just done because it was there written, yeah? You heard that, how much, read to them how much it cost, because we know those drugs are expensive. The drug that we saw, even the first bottle that was pulled out, that bottle goes for more than 1,000. So when you bring in about shipment and everything, yeah, and let me say this, let us not make our farms us pharmacies, yeah. Sometimes when, let's say, somebody like me, when you call me to come and treat your animal, then you want to give me the drug that you have. Most of the times I don't even use those drugs. I reject, unless the diagnosis that I've made, I don't have those drugs, or I see those drugs are very expensive, then I prescribe for drugs so that to be bought. For that instance, I still use your drugs, but I'll charge you the same rate that I could charge you when I was to operate with my own drugs. This phone is like it want to shut down. So rating has to remain the way it is. That is how the profession work. You bring me your drugs, the rating will be the same, no different. That is how veterinary works. That even this makes me to ask a question. When somebody is sick, do you tell somebody, do you go and buy drugs, then you tell person that come and inject me? No, you have to go. Let us take this profession as a serious profession, whereby you have to be diagnosed is when you make some treatment. No, let us not purchase a lot of drugs. Even the person who was selling these drugs without prescription from a vet was wrong, because the vet who was at the field is the one who is supposed to prescribe the drugs so as to be purchased. Know that you're making calls so that the drugs will be sent from Nairobi. Your work is to receive. Yeah, your work is to receive. Good question. Okay. Hi, was it bandage or a cast? What we saw from that is from Asabo. Okay. What we saw from there, we saw a lot of bandaging. That is what we saw. But when you look at the video that actually where prescription was being done, I saw some pop there. The plaster of Paris were there. I don't think if they use, but still questions arise. Maxwell, okay. Maxwell, why did you pull down yesterday's video? Were you trying to protect? Not I was trying to protect. The reason why I pulled, I came to realize that most of these people that I said the names, most of these people that I shouted the names are not YouTubers, yeah? And it was like, this question is very hard to answer this question, yeah? That I was protecting. Okay, he's not a fake vet. He's not a fake vet. And I came on camera and said my reasons. Yeah, he's not a fake. He's somebody who is learned. I have to say that. But what he was doing was totally wrong. And came up with some other allegations that I know, basically I personally know them and they were facts, and I don't need to respond to that question. Yeah, this from Forever Humble. Yeah. I can see Kathy John. Do you have a proper license? I think these are the questions that I can't even respond. When you see me talking about animals, you're not even supposed to question me about my license, my licensing. I've come on camera. I've said it very clear. I was called. I was not around. What tells you that? If I was around, I've come many instances. I've said that I could attend to these animals. I have been attending to animals. So when you ask me about a license, that one, just answer yourself. And actually, even before I came to this live, I was looking at some other channel. Somebody was questioning my qualification. One thing that I don't do, I've not even come with videos me treating animals. I don't do those videos because I know the repercussion. Apart from that, why should I show you how animals are being treated, and yet you people have the veterinarians where you are? So let us ask logic question where logic comes on. So asking me such a question, even somebody proposed that I should show my licensing and everything. If you want me to show you my licensing, I just pass it through. Not that I'm going to show in detail my licensing and everything. I'll just show maybe an overview of the license and everything, so that I'll just pass it steadily. Not that I'm going to show us. I don't think if I need to show you. Yeah, this one is when I was in internship. This was in the year, a long time ago. That one was for internship. I don't think if I'm supposed to show you my license. I don't. You never took me to school, so I'm not even supposed to show you. But that one is that for. But I have a license with me for those who maybe they suspect anything. Okay. I must admit, pit toilets and boreholes make me scream. Because we have seen them next to bodies, water bodies. We have seen them next to water bodies. Okay. That means we are Africans and we know what can happen, not just about man. Exactly. That is Asumana. Horses are made to run, but you have to control the speed and how you control it. Okay. This one is a question for the trainers. Forever Humble, the vet needs to show his practice license. That is what Victoril she's requesting. Oops. Okay. Kati, I apologize, tapping with one finger. Okay. Dr. Tando, was the vet attending to the horse an equine specialist? If yes, why didn't he put the horse down as required for some injuries? Okay. Education system when it comes to veterinary field here in Kenya is kind of different maybe from other countries. You see, like here in Kenya, you see like the vet surgeons, they do just every animal. You see, like in Kenya, if you are a specialist. Okay, we don't have that specialization unless somebody goes for masters. Let us give like to this video. So here in Kenya, you can do specialization after. But when you are in school, basically you learn about all animals. So all vets in Kenya can handle all the animals. So when you get Maxwell handling a dog, you get Maxwell handling a cat, you get Maxwell handling a horse. That is how it operates. So when maybe Maro was belittling people that he says that these vets from local vets they don't have knowledge about horses. I tend to reject that. That is why he got somebody from the origin from Asia. So that is the individual who was selling these drugs. So even this individual declined to come and save the horse. So basically, it was basically for a business purpose, the guy who was sending the drugs, because you know very well, this horse has to be taken down. And it is now very evident. When I was talking about euthanizing these animals, it is now evident that the last thing it could be done is now putting it down. And at the end of the day, that is what happened. Yeah, it is now revealed that at least it is like an educational thing to some of the people, so people learn from what they see. Carrie Jones, you're just a distractor. The way Marx explains, he shows his very knowledgeable hand has indicated that he migrated from far. Yes, I've been, I told us my schedule. Most of the times, although I'm in the village, but most of the times I don't spend much of my time here because the reason is there is no money here in the village. There is no money here. When you see us doing content creation, you have to understand, yeah, because now life, no jobs here, no life is now becoming somehow like we are now limited to do some things. That is how things work here in the village. So that is why most of my videos you get that surroundings look different, because at the end of the day, I just take YouTube as an option to me because I have to, I'm hungry when it comes. Okay, my mind is business oriented. I am hungry that at the end of the day, I have to get money, yeah, to sustain myself, to sustain, to pay some bills and everything, yeah. So I'm usually angry when it comes to money. Even my last employer who I worked for, yeah, he was coming from Asia. I used to work for a certain company in Kenya, medicinal company. So that guy was telling me that, Max, you have to be hungry for money. You have to convince client this how things are supposed to be working. So that is why I have to train myself to be okay. Because the smell, okay, dollars from Mura wanted a piece of it. Exactly, you are on point. Of discovered of this man is trained and qualified. Exactly. I think when I came to the camera and said about my qualification, nobody asked me which stage of qualification. Maybe some people think that maybe there is a stage that I was up to, but I never finished that stage. Not maybe undergraduate level. No, there is a stage that I reached in my education, and I wanted to be more than that. And actually, it seems that even I'm changing my career from this that I have to maybe some other career that is low. That is now what is driving me in the next part. Maybe from this year before ends, I'll be in a law school. So that is my prayer, yeah. Personally, that is my prayer. So nobody came and asked me that where did you reach in education. So when somebody tells you that I dropped out of school, you have to ask which level. Not that this may be a form 4 dropout. No, yeah, no. Okay. Oh, please don't show. Okay, thank you. Tell them to check. Yes, if you want to see if I'm qualified, go and check to veterinary board in Kenya. What causes colic? Colic, different things cause colic. What the feeding nature, that is nutrition, even stress. Some behavioral things can cause colic. So that is, but I came on camera and rejected about Rio dying from colic because of my own reason. Because that horse had an injury. So if colic happened, that colic happened because of now stress. Stress from what it was suffering from initially. Let us not spectate the details that we are being told or what somebody Googled, then brought on camera. I said it very frankly that let us use the labs. If that result could go to the laboratory, then the results come out that this horse was suffering from a colic, I could say I can't interject that, and that is what the post-mortem, everything, because there is the last point. If the lab say that this horse died from this, that is it. But Rio, it still brings suspicion. And I give my own history about that. This from Robbie, okay, yeah. Max, you don't owe anyone any proof of your license. Exactly. But I'm very glad I just passed the internship, yeah. I did it, my internship in 2020 something, yeah. More than 10 years back, yeah. more than 10 years back. Okay. Max, don't worry. Real professionals do not advertise themselves. Their work speaks for itself. We trust you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, this from Vicoril. Okay, okay. This from Monica. Monica, from your medical terminology, I know you have some medical training, human or human. Thank you for that. I'm really grateful for that. Hello everyone, I'm late. Okay, Carol Murray, welcome to this live stream. Welcome to this live stream. I can see Dr. Cheryl Coty. Okay, welcome. I just stumbled on your live and decided to join on your Q&A. Joining you from Canada. Welcome to this live stream. Welcome to this live stream. Anybody to Emmanuel Farmer, he stated the limb was bandaged and stick attached to it. Even I did, from the videos that I did. When you look about that horse, that is why I'm talking about negligence. Yeah, that horse was bandaged with a. It was very clear. I have photos of this. The good thing about me, I don't actually delete some of the videos, and if my phone gets full, I transfer them to another place that I think they are very more safer, because these YouTube won't even. Some people maybe can even decide to pull down my YouTube channel, so that means I still have other videos to justify myself. So it was just done, and I think the first bandage was not even done by vets. It was done by now my biggest question was, okay, I'm attending to this animal, why could I untie that bandage and those sticks, then I tie? Because when you use sticks, yeah, get it from me, let me just use, I don't know what I can use as a stick. I don't think, okay, this is a stick. I place some sticks here, and remember this hoof, this leg is it is like this way, yeah. So when I put some stick, you know, this stick has some sharp edges. So when it does this way, it pierces, yeah, it pierces here. So it will be, and that, I think that is why they were spraying some spray, because those sticks were piercing, causing more. It was traumatizing this animal. It was causing a lot of trauma. So you get that it was real suffering. This animal was real suffering. So I really suspect when they were using that aerosol, it was because these are injuries that came from poor actually bandaging and everything. Yeah, that is why I was talking about POP. Let us use POP. My uncle is 76 years old. Okay, a good engineer. He built these best houses, better any architect. Okay, designed, planned everything, didn't go to any school for it. The best built many houses for the government cooperative. Wow, I think we are learning something from that. Yeah, that sometimes it's not that you go to school you become knowledgeable. Yeah, so as long as somebody is there to help your animal, just accept. Okay, Vicoril dude was not work for horse, rather for himself and personal gain. He knew horse had no chance. Yeah, the first vet, Marwa himself admitted, the first vet who attended the horse said that take it down, but he didn't. So he was now trying to take chances, and this was very wrong, because this animal suffered to death. That is what I can say. The animal suffered to death, and this is animal cruelty, because for the safety of the animal, why should you leave the animal? You don't believe that people tell you that make it go down. You don't want to do it. Okay, optimistic. Okay, shame just as he treats his pigeons with sticks or broken limbs. Okay, but you have to get consent from the owner. Sensor was advised to put it down, but he refused, so nothing much could be done until 2 months when he came to his senses. Yeah, even you see now, because this horse was injected until the body was now painful. Yeah, because when you are sick, when you see your condition is now worsening, you are not supposed to be under, because for me, what was supposed to be done here is tender love and care, TLC. At least for TLC could make some difference. TLC could make some difference to that horse. Yeah, just do tender love and care. Inject for pain the first day, the second day, up to around day 3. Maybe you can even go to day 5, but afterwards, if no change, just do tender love and care. Yeah, you make some exercise for the horse. Yeah, nobody will crucify that because you never use. Yeah, sometimes make brain work. Yeah, make your brain work. That is what things happen. Okay, Max, you are complicity. You need to re-upload yesterday's video and stop protecting Kenges. Unless I redo the video without saying the name, I can redo the video because that video was very much educational video. And actually the reason why I did that video is, even I said in that video that this is basically for educational purpose, not any other thing. So I'm going to redo the video, but I'm not going to quote anybody in that video. The reason why I had to pull it down because I quoted names, and I get to understand the names that I quoted. It is somehow that it was like I was tarnishing somebody's career, not negatively. It was positively, but we know we have to survive. Huh? I can see Badula. Welcome to this live stream. I just watched Emmanuel's. Okay, he said when Rio died, Marwa made them cut Rio into pieces without gloves into short autopsy for Kenge. Thus, all pieces were buried next to where Ogutu now lives. That was very bad. Let us ask, even if you are somebody's servant or a staff member, let us not take responsibility to handle, especially animals that have died. Let us not take that. For those who started watching this live stream from the beginning, I've talked about zoonotic disease, where I just brought one of the serious cases when I'm talking about zoonotic disease, that was anthrax. So something like anthrax is not something that you have to joke with, because this is a spore forming, yeah? It is spore forming. So you get that once the animal has actually died from anthrax, it is very dangerous to human being, yeah? It can affect you, even for those, because I've seen even people who actually have cooked. You see that vapor from the pan, even for it can even make you blind. It can lead to you actually a lot of damages. Yeah, for those who understand about anthrax, Google about anthrax, you'll get. I'm just giving one example, yeah, about zoonotic disease. Yeah, but we still have others. Even we call it tuberculosis. That is still a zoonotic disease. If this animal died from tuberculosis, there is a possibility when you get a cut or an injury, then because the whole carcass has been infected, so a possibility of you getting infected is very high. Horses was okay. The horse was a foal that was all brought the female horse for breeding, which is equals to breeding exactly. Do you think the horse was euthanized? I seriously doubt that. The horse died of septicemia, my opinion. Even me, I did a video. Okay, even if they euthanized that horse, look at the history, what they were talking about. They were talking about this animal, the state, actually, the condition was becoming worse and worse. And when Marwa himself came on camera and said that this horse slipped, I was like, this is now the end. Nothing can be done completely because it cannot bear the weight. Yesterday I did a video where I came ahead and said that horses, they depend more on the front leg. 60% of their weight, yeah, of their body weight depend on the fore leg. So one is injured, you're left with one. So that means the entire 60% is now left for this one limb to actually to bear weight for these. So when this one now gets tired, let me just use something like tiredness so that everybody can adapt. When this one gets tired, you get that this horse drains its body, everything, the energy, everything becomes depleted. Once it becomes depleted, that is why we got that the horse slipped. And I could see them putting a lot of measure that let us put some, I don't know, we put some so that it can, no, it never sleep because of the environment was slippery. No, it sleep because it was exhausted. And Marwa himself again came on camera and said that they have given the horse high doses of drugs and the horse was sleeping, it was not waking up. I knew this is now over, because this is now where drugs are being misused. There is the point that I said drugs are being misused, and that is not what was supposed to happen. Okay. Happy Sunday. Thank you. This from Cheryl, content doctor. Okay. I don't know about the concept bit. Okay. Badala, wow. Can you imagine that? Who knows if the grave was deep enough? Yeah. We don't really know. Regardless, Max, you are still more knowledgeable than Kenge will never be. Thank you for that. Right. Okay. Joining from UK. Welcome this from Rubel. Welcome to this live stream. Let us ask more questions because I'm going to respond to all these questions. How to build concrete. Okay. Kenge who Google how to build a concrete kitchen and it still isn't finished. Exactly. Okay. Get an external hard drive to save your videos. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to buy, I think I have to get that. It is called, okay, the one that it has like, you can put it in, okay, it is still, maybe, it is still a hard disk, but you can put it through the phone. Okay, I can look for the OTG USB. I think that one can be the one that is spacious enough so that I can keep all my content and everything. Max, you can save your videos in a cloud. It is only that in a cloud, I think it still goes to the mail, yeah. And I think my mail is now getting full, yeah, because I've been cautioned that you have to delete some videos so that you can, okay, still that I can still keep them okay on the cloud. Okay, crazy how they think they can heal a broken bone without a profession. He has no regard for the medical profession. Exactly. And everything the way said, it is just because the terms, when you know something like a professional thing, yeah, when you speak ill about this profession or this individual, this thing goes around. And when you see that somebody, you're calling people and they're now telling you that I'm not around, I'm not coming, no, these were, it is because you are belittling them, yeah. I don't think Kenge put that horse down. It died from sepsis. Vinmuita took a video showing the horse already dead over a week. That video was taken down before reactors reacted on it. Okay, that is still a possibility because that horse died because of sepsis. That one, I'm almost 90% accepting it. Actually, I'm almost accepting it. Yeah, I'm almost accepting, and I did that video and I said that even for me, I'm thinking about the same thing. Yeah, crazy how, okay, Max, you can, okay, this one I've already talked about it. Do they not use plaster of Paris or animal as they do in human? They have to use plaster of Paris. That is the only thing that could retain that foot. Yeah, just watch him, man. Okay, exactly. The guy who abused the animal by riding, it's like a racehorse out of the gate and caught the injury. It's what unalive the horse. He needs to be charged and go to jail or at least 6 months. Let me tell you, accidents happen. And I don't think if even this case, when it goes to court, Marwa can't win this case. Yeah, he can't win this case. This was your employer. Okay, I don't want to talk about it because watch my other video where I was talking about Max horse trainer. I need not to talk about this thing. Accident happens. It's not that he wanted to cause injury to this horse. Yeah, you employed me as a trainer. Yeah, you expect me. Now see, herself say that he saw these and he questioned about Malaika. Why couldn't you? Because the same people employ, they can still fire you? Why could they fire Max before it was too late? If Rocio, it is true that he saw this, why couldn't he advise Max not to do that? And I said, horses are animals that move fast by nature. Yeah, let me not talk about this, because when now these are past things, we are not even supposed to bring them to the camera again. Even Maro himself has not come up and talked about this issue about Max, I don't know what. No, this is a bygone thing. Shit has happened. Let us accept it has happened. Yeah, let us move on, because right now we cannot resurrect the horse. We cannot. Let us move on. Yeah, let us move on. Let us not okay, let me not use that term. Yeah, good day everyone. Thank you. This from okay, Lucas the Traveler, thank you. Welcome to this live stream. Wagwan me there. Make sure that we give these live hey, my power bank, no light. I have no electricity, so my power bank has left only 1 bar, so it will be shutting down anytime, but still I have a backup. Yeah, so maybe the light could decrease, but still I have a backup. Yeah, I still have a backup. Okay, so when it goes off, the ring light, when it goes off, I still have a backup for the solar, so I'll be using that. Okay, Lucas Musafiri, thank you for joining this live stream. Let us support Lucas the Traveler. He's one of the YouTubers in Jabuhanse, good friend. Okay, he's my good friend. Yeah, if a horse foot is hurt, you have to put it down, because horse's leg does not heal. Maro keep that horse suffering. Maro when okay, to something he doesn't know nothing about horses. Countries arrested. Exactly. This from Mr. Do right. Okay, thank you for that. Monica Bonica, you will have more horses death. So talk about this bushman can't take care of himself, never mind horses. That environment itself, it is not a very good environment when it comes to horse actually. It is not a good environment when it comes to horses. That is a swampy environment, and you know, swampy places here, yeah? Soaking of the foot of the horses, that is one of the things horses don't like, even the foot. Yeah, you know, those smells, everything, you realize that they come from the swampy. Yeah, apart from that, swampy places, and when they graze on the swampy places, you get that they are more susceptible to parasitic infection. Yeah, we have a lot of worm overload in that environment, so that means it is not safe for these horses. Yeah, fluke worm, nani, we call them liver flukes, all those things. Yeah, even some things like and to make matters worse, I've even seen dogs in that environment. Horses and dogs don't mix. And I think if you're one of the subscribers from Marwa, just go tell him that horses and dogs don't mix in the same environment. There is no this. Yeah, you know, horses, when they see dogs, they become very aggressive and very much irritated. They tend to kick dogs so much. Yeah, they think that they're being predated against by dogs. Apart from that, the feces from dogs, they have some repercussion when it comes to. Thank you from Kimberly Rivers for this super slap. Thank you. I appreciate all you do to keep us informed. Thank you. I'm very grateful. This from Kimberly Rivers. I'm very grateful for these super thanks. I'm really grateful. So I was saying that there are some diseases that let me just give a good example of a disease where, for those who know hydatidosis, yeah, the hydatid cyst. For those, you see, like in a normal environment, let's say even in human, it happens where that you see somebody has a tummy. You know, we hear that some tummies are because of disease, and one of the disease that can somebody can be suffering from is the hydatid. For those who know about hydatidosis, even animals get infected with these hydatid cysts. So that is like risking the horse. Yeah, it is not that much safe to have dogs to that environment. I think the advisor who advised them to keep dogs in that environment. I tend to reject about that. Okay, not these. Badola. Okay, Badola. How did Toto the donkey died? Okay, let me just leave these. Okay, I remember. Okay, not these. Are the peacock still there? I don't really know because I don't go to that environment. Why should the boy be charged? The boy was badly hurt and Marwa put him out. Can't walk. Marwa is the one who to be arrested and go to jail. Marwa bring boys who don't know anything about horses. Even right now, what is happening when Congrat mom came on camera and advised Marwa to change the management. What is now happening is that they are now taking people, you know, in Korea we have Korea East and Korea West. Some of the individuals now who are maintaining horses, their work is now kicking the horse, go graze, come back, chasing them like a safari rally, come back. Yeah, that is what is happening right now at that villa. No professional, nothing at all. That is what is happening. And about charging the about this about Max the host, Brian the host trainer, I talked about this severally, and I don't think even he was not taken to hospital. History tells us. So let me just leave that aside. That person talking about riding a horse first is lost to the thought. Exactly. Okay, those German Shepherd puppy have no idea what awaits them at the exactly. They don't know, but still risking the safety of the horses, the way I've said, they'll be kicked. Horse is not a joke. Like the other horse that Marwa usually tells us that horse is very expensive, very aggressive, and it gets irritated so much. Those here, okay, let me just leave that. But I think that there is reason why Muita was beaten, and it was up. Yeah, it is in police custody. Exactly. This Antonio. Welcome to this live stream. Hesborn Awando external fixation. A cast is the most common form for lower leg fractures. A heavy fiberglass cast is applied from the hoof to just below the knee. All depend on vet's recommendation. Exactly. That is very right. I suppose that. Remember the fish that died in the pond? That tells us how the animals are suffering. History tells itself. Fish was long time ago and they died. Oh no. Okay. Badula, it was on Masubo One channel today. Okay, thanks for supporting our brother. Thank you for support. Exactly. Victory, Kibali, real info from the village comes from Max. Exactly. Me, I don't borrow stories. I come. That is why I usually say that I react to videos that have been posted in public domain, or what I see by myself, or what I know. And if somebody will now come and tell me that, Max, you have actually, I'm going to charge you, maybe I'm going to charge you with a defamatory. So I tell you that you go ahead because I have evidence for that. Yeah, I have evidence for that. So I have no. Why should I come up with some stories, some fabricated stories to the video? I don't do that, and there is no reason I should do that. It's better I don't upload any video the entire of the day, but not the good thing that I'm not supposed to tarnish my name. Okay, Mr. Dale. In other countries, Mara will be arrested for bad treatment of the horse and letting that horse suffer. Exactly. Even in Kenya, he is supposed to face the full wrath of the law. That is what he is supposed to face it. Yeah. Right. Oh, I think it's only okay. Even that is not an excuse. Maybe the officers being far away. Those are just some mere excuses that, yeah, maybe because the officers are in Naivasha or in Nairobi or in Nakuru. That one does not prohibit somebody facing the full wrath of the law. Emmanuel Pham spoke about how Rio was dissected orders from Mura to confirm the horse had colic. Mura thinking is backwards. The issue about colic was just, it was just planted there. It was just planted. If somebody can come and tell me that I'm speaking lies, yeah, I told us the power we lost, but at least I still have a backup of a solar system, no electricity in the village, yeah. So I was saying that until you come with a lab, something from a lab, is when now I'll know that this is what the lab said and this is the reality. This horse died because of these and these. For tentative diagnosis, it comes from lab, not from individual mouth, because even that horse, even before, there is nothing like, even that horse really enjoyed life, because when it was nearing the death, imagine the horse drank beer. That was very, 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 let me say, very enjoyable like Danny death, because drinking beer next to your death. Even in Kenya, when we are talking about drug and substance abuse, that now becomes very serious. For a horse, and a horse is just, it has a simple stomach, what we call the pseudo stomach. I've come on camera and said about that. There is nothing like fermentation and everything. It is only that it has some of the advantages, like some of the advantages that enables digestion of fibers and everything, but nothing like fermentation. So giving it something to enhance digestion, like beer, it was totally wrong. Why could they use something like liquid paraffin? It could work best as compared to what it was given. Monica, many prize race horses were put down because of broken leg. Real champion in the horse world. Marwa has followers, okay, are not one another planet. Exactly. And in business, I tend to think that in business, even okay, I usually tell farmers this: the best breed, let's say, of horses or cattle is not what you get from the market. Improve. When you see these horses very big or what, leave alone that. People tend to sell animals that they want to get rid of. So even if this horse was sold, there is reasons why it was sold. And one of the reasons is like maybe they can't get pregnant. Let us not even, I saw some people speculating that maybe this horse was pregnant, that maybe now he has lost 4 horses, combining from Rio, that I don't know, and what, and this other one. And maybe this one could be having a baby. Let us not spectate. Because much of these business thing, they work this, especially when it comes to animal. People tend to sell the rejects that they have. And that is the truthness of the matter. That is how things are. So even though these horses came from South Africa, I tend even to say that maybe these ones were actually one of the poorest horses that they could sell because of maybe some medical issues, maybe because of these, yeah. So let us not speculate that these horses cost this much. You know how market works. I think if Mura knew Emmanuel Farm was intelligent, then he wouldn't have employed him. Now he watches him with regrets. And let me say this on camera. It is alleged that, you see, it is alleged that Marwa went to Emmanuel's farm homestead to demand, underline the word alleged, to demand the amount of money that Marwa had actually given him when the wife for Emmanuel farm was getting, actually when she was giving birth. So he went there to demand back the money with threats that failure to which I'm going to report you. Remember, I can't, if Emmanuel is here, let nobody scare you about I don't want to report you. Somebody giving you debt, that is not a criminal offense, that is a civil offense. If Emmanuel has no money, what can he do? Yeah, what can he do? So you are now going ahead and intimidating an individual person because you lended this person money good willingly, because this individual does not no longer works for you, because this individual is now speaking his mind. You are now going to intimidate him that I gave you money, you have to get, some people now are working in the village like a village spokesman, or I don't know what, why they are now, they are very desperate, walking door to door, demanding some other things that are, they're not even justifiable. Yeah. So that is what I've said allegedly. Yeah? I'm not giving us an assurance 100% that it is true or not, but it is allegedly. And Emmanuel failed to record a video. If Emmanuel could know, you could record a video about that, but let you not be intimidated by debts. Somebody lended you money, yeah? But if you get money, just return him the money, and these things go, yeah? Rio could die of colic, yes. It was full of parasite. Yes, even stress, because it was limping, yeah? Stress itself from what it had. So colic, it was like an opportunistic disease, yeah? Because everything like immune system was hindered. So you get that colic now came up. So that is a possibility, but the reality remains that I still tend to reject. You're so right not portray those young men as if unlearned. They stand up with him saying not much, as if they don't understand English. Even Mosabi, I was surprised they speaks well. Exactly, yeah. Sometimes you have to behave like you're dumb. Yeah. For me, I say that I came on camera say that even from my start, I say that I can't work for this person because of my various reasons. Because one thing, I'm very mobile, yeah. Me, I'm not restricted that I have to work within Nyabuhansi. No, I'm a mobile person. I work anywhere. I work anywhere in this country. I work up to Mombasa. I work to, sometimes I go to Tanzania. Sometimes I go to Uganda. So have no restrictions where I'm supposed to work. So I can't be employed in a farm. Then you call me that, Max, attend to these animals the whole week. I couldn't even be there. I just mind my business as long as I do what is right. Then I mind my own business at the end of that. My concern, okay, exactly, this is a joke, it's being, okay. My concern is about Anastasia. How did Marwa adopt Aaron to made a slave? This is a concern for everybody, even for me. I don't think if that young girl, she's safe. And now you see now the people who should even come and demand for these. I think the family members from, okay, the Anastasia's family member should come up. They're the people who can save Anastasia, because we can't expect somebody like Max to go to maybe to the villa and demand for justice or what. It will be very hard, yeah, because it can even be like trespassing. And especially for these young ladies, their mind is controlled in such a way that they can even be used to pin you down. Let's take, for example, I go there and start advising her, or they get me now, I'm one-on-one with Anastasia. Then they go and tell Anastasia, take these like 200 USD. Now go and say that Max tried to do for you these and these, yeah? She'll go and say that, and I'll be like bringing myself into problems. So that is why sometimes make yourself where you feel you're very comfortable. That is what I can say. Just make sure that you sit where you're very comfortable. Don't go and do some, let's say I trespass, do some shenanigans, finding myself into conflict. No, that is past me. In my nature, I don't want to find myself in a lot of shenanigans or conflict, especially the village conflict that you get me, okay, these Marks has done these. No. My history is good. I have to retain my history the way it is. Yeah, that is what I can say. There is no, okay, let me, is there a law in that village? The law that govern people in that village is, I think, the Kenyan law and maybe cultures. Kenyan law and cultures, nothing else. Okay. There is no hard scientific evidence on benefits of beer feeding to horses. It is largely a tradition or an external practice. Exactly. That is what, even that is why I came on camera and say that there is no scientific proven. But for me, even I tend to think that it worsens the situation because fermentation, yeah, especially when you have colic, just give something like at least something like a laxative, not even a laxative, just something like let me just say something like light kaolin, at least to control the colic, yeah, to control the colic, like like kaolin, yeah, something of sort, yeah. Okay, space the village in a country. Doesn't that count? Country has laws, or is it banana republic? We're living in a banana republic. Yeah? Okay, Maro is rich. He doesn't spend his money. He spends other people's money. Maybe he wants to take the money with him. Okay. This is from yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the guy who claimed that to be the richer than the president of Kenya, but still you use money from the subscribers. This is very, very, very bad. What's your take on dairy farming in that area? The climate seems favorable and will more economically. Exactly. This is one of the ventures that I remember. Okay, I remember there was a time I went with one of the YouTubers to one of the insider YouTuber to Marwa to Eldoret for a benchmarking when I was new in this YouTube venture where we did some benchmarking. We came back and he was supposed to table to Marwa that this is one of the best venture that you can focus on. I don't know what happened and Marwa chose to do housekeeping. I personally, I usually tell myself that if there is one of the best venture I can do is dairy farming, because look at the prices of milk in within, let's say, Migori County. Market is there, but we don't have enough animals because Korean community history tells it by itself that we used to keep those animals with horns, yeah, though they can even give you like 2 cups of milk, that is less than 1 liter. And when I was growing up, when we used to milk like 1 cup or a jug from those animals, we used to even tell our neighbors that, do you know what? One of the most producing animals in our village is this animal because it gives us a jug. So when I grew up and visited some other farms, so when I got that we have animals produce even giving somebody more than 40 liters within a day, I was like, what? So this one of the let me say one of the enterprises that maybe before the year ends or next year I'll start venturing in before. Okay, when I'll be building maybe my house, I have to focus about putting everything, all these enterprises I have to include, because I have to do what? Dairy farming I have to do in that my small plot of farm. I have to do something like a dairy system that can accommodate up to 20 or more than 20 animals, milkers. So those are my prayers, because this is one of the venture that even for me, I would like to tell Marwa that this is what you should venture in, not bring, I don't know, apalosas, I don't know what, horses, I don't know, from you are importing what. Yeah. And funny thing about maybe these enterprise about dairy, this is money generating venture. You are guaranteed 100% at the end of the day, you'll sell milk. That is cash coming to your pocket. These animals will be feeding themselves. But when you see about horses, they just dig deep. You dig deep from your pocket. You see, like now, Maro like now is slaving himself because he has to get numerous plots. I don't know to do. I don't know to rent plots so that these animals can be can actually you rent for them a lot of plot. But look at the profit. Nothing like profit. It is loss at the end of the day. So I'm going to end this live stream from any minute from now. What's your take on it? Okay, this one I've responded. I guess Banana Republic fits the situation. Exactly correct. Very interesting. We'll be checking in again next time. Bye for now. Goodbye, people. I think I'll be ending this live stream from any point from now. Maxwell Lumumba, you sound knowledgeable on matters. Have you ever visited Maro for a chat on contraindication to this impulsive investment? I've not gotten that opportunity in my lifetime. I've met Marwa twice. We have I've shaken his hand 2 times, and actually when it is 2 times. And actually when I went to the villa, it was basically for business purpose, nothing else, just duties, not shout out or what. It was just basically business, yeah. But if I could get opportunity, you know, Marwa positioned himself like more knowledgeable. You won't advise him. That's the reality. Even when you try advising him, he'll be now telling you that, look, horses, when it gets pregnant, I'll be selling one at these millions of shillings. Yeah, he just sees this thing like an immediate money, that he doesn't see it like a long-term thing, that feeding these ones, they require money. So you are thinking about getting $1 million from a horse, and you can get thousands of shillings from one enterprise like dairy, and at the end of the year you get that you'll be getting even billions of money, and you are thinking about millions of money. It's only that we don't have those muscles, the financial muscles, so that we can venture to some of these profitable ventures. Yeah, but once I have that financial muscles, one of the enterprise, even leave alone about poultry, I don't know about me, one of the businesses that I would like to do is dairy farming, nothing else. Dairy farming, then I'll do these other things like a supportive enterprise. Max re-upload the video. Wewe ni mwoga. I'm thinking about that. I might be uploading the video, or with an alternative of doing another video without mentioning names, then I upload it. Have a wonderful rest in your weekend. Thank you. Karamure. Bye everyone. Have a blessed week. I'm really thankful for every individual. I'm really thankful for Kibali from the super thanks. I'm very glad for that. I hope you people enjoyed the session. Let me end this live session from that point. That is what I have. Goodbye for now. Let us meet the next live stream next Sunday. Goodbye. Okay. I am Migori. I admire you guys. Thank you. I'll be relocating to Migori very soon, maybe from next month. I'll be relocating to there because here, the village, shenanigans are becoming too much. Huh? I'm thinking about relocating to Migori. Migori is a nice place, a peaceful environment, especially the villages of Migori. They're very peaceful, modern. Actually, I used to stay in Migori in the way to Orthogik, yeah? College Inn, yeah? College Inn, that place that is called College Inn. I used to stay there. Kwaheri ya kuonana. Let me end this live stream from here.